Hi, I'm Randy Walters with Coal Fed Families. Coal Fed Families up until now was just a website. It was created by C.K. Bellhausen and myself as a result of the Army Corps of Engineers and their NP-21 threat that would have stopped coal mining permits and put them into their bureaucracy again and again and again. We went on from there to start a very successful boycott of shopping in Lexington. Now that boycott got attention, which is what we wanted, of several groups throughout central Kentucky who, once they heard what was going on in the coal fields, decided that we were right and the government was wrong. We have this website up, coalfedfamilies.com, as you're well aware because you're watching on it, and it was there just so we could share information with people throughout the coal fields and any place else that wanted to know what threats there were to the coal business and which politicians were helping us, which were not. It's been very successful so far, and as it went on, we contacted Joey Lewis. Joey has Delta Testing in Hyden, Kentucky. He is a biologist with a degree from the University of Kentucky and has been able to help us in explaining in layman's terms to people the results of what the EPA is trying to do against coal. The idea to put the newscast on the website has been just a recent idea. We thought that by actually being here to tell you what's going on, it would better impact than just having articles on the subject on the site. This way we can tell you much more updated what's going on in the coal fields and how the government, under the Barack Obama administration, is trying their best to shut down East Kentucky coal, West Virginia coal, and coal from southern West Virginia. The reason for that is their great environmental push. The Sierra Club and people to that nature have one thing in mind, and that's stop the coal from coming out of the mountains, and it doesn't make any difference to them what it does to the families. Now the families in the coal regions of eastern Kentucky, of West Virginia, and of southern Virginia depend on coal entirely. We don't have any other industry in this part of the country. Everything is dependent upon coal for working families. People in the grocery stores, people that sell cars, people that sell homes, construction people that build homes. Everything has to do with coal. Without the coal input into these communities, there would be no private industry to help people have homes, cars, send their children to school, the little things that everybody else takes for granted throughout the country, but not so much right now with the unemployment rate as high as it is. And our government wants to push our region into the same situation with jobs lost, and that's what they're doing through the EPA. The mandates they're coming up with are ridiculous. We will have much more on these things coming up in later broadcasts here on Coal Fed Families, and we will have Joey Lewis in, and he will explain to you just how ludicrous the whole thing is. It makes no sense at all to have this kind of legislative regulatory influence coming from the EPA and coming from the Army Corps of Engineers and overriding the wishes of the people of the state of Kentucky and overriding, in fact, Kentucky's state government. Joey Lewis and I testified before the Kentucky Natural Resources and Energy Commission, and we told them about the water conductance problem and how ridiculous that was, only to be followed up by the chairman of the Department of Environmental Protection, who backed us up totally on what we were saying and even made the examples sound a lot worse. Coal Fed Families is an organization in support of the families in eastern Kentucky. We will be examining a lot of things on our website newscast, not just coal, But in particular, things like the drug problem throughout this region, things that need to be done. We will also have some input from law enforcement, and we will be having a lot of input from local political officials, judges in these counties, the county judge executives. Those folks are well on board with coal-fed families and have been since we started the website. Also, we have public officials that are on board with coal-fed families. People like State Representative Fitz Steele from here in Hazard, and State Senator Brandon Smith from here in Hazard, who are both pro-coal, one a Republican, one a Democrat, and will do whatever it takes to protect the jobs of the miners and the people in eastern Kentucky that have been here forever, dependent upon coal for an income, while the rest of the nation depends on coal for industry. The electric rates in Kentucky are some of the lowest in the nation. The reason for that being, over 90% of our electricity is produced by coal. If you tamper with this coal market, as the EPA and the Army Corps of Engineers are doing, what they're going to do is raise the electric rates. And we will see companies like GE, Ford, and Toyota pulling out of central Kentucky to go to parts unknown where the power is cheaper or the labor is cheaper, which means they could very well leave the country, as so many other businesses have, through the free trade agreement, and why so many jobs have been lost. Coal-fed families wants to stop something like that from happening in our mountains. Our people are hardworking. Our people work in dangerous conditions. Our people just want to be left alone and continue to do their jobs and support their families. Now, what's wrong with that? Coal-fed families will be bringing you these broadcasts on a rather as-we-can basis. I don't know the schedule as of yet, but they will be on our website, and we will be changing them quite often. So tune into it and tell your friends about it. It's Coal-Fed Families. Remember, go to Google, www.coalfedfamilies.com. We'll have the news there for you, and we sure appreciate you watching. Thank you very much. I'm Randy Walters, saying I'll see you later.